What is up, my friends? How y'all doing? Happy, what is it? Thursday, December. It's a special month. It's a special month. Today, we're going to be doing the same thing we do every day, Pinky. Take over the world. The way we're going to do it is by checking out my new favorite thread, Am I the Asshole? We've gone through some interesting topics already, especially this week. Talking about um, should you still drink whiskey around your pregnant wife who is throwing up when you drink whiskey? I mean, that was a no-brainer. But today we're going to start with, am I the asshole for stealing my own cat back? Now, I'm curious about this. As per usual, this is always the first time that I'm reading any of these posts. This is as new to me as it is to you, unless you beat me to the punch over here. I'm going to be going through it, going to be analyzing, going to, sort of walk you through my process of how I would manage if I were working with, usually either of the people in the post. Finally, not a doctor, not a therapist. Anything that comes up around mental health is coming from my background as a youth worker, a counselor, a coach. I run a company called The Journal That Talks Back. We work with people who, are working on their mental wellness. So that's where I'm coming from. If you have any questions or you need help accessing supports, reach out. I don't bite. I'm just a bearded, pierced guy with a coffee and some opinions about whether or not these people are assholes or not. So without further ado, my friends, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Am I the asshole for stealing my own cat back? I got Pebbles from a humane society when she was 2 months old. I love her with my whole heart. She is now 5 years old, soon to be 6. So cute. 14 months ago, I had to move to an apartment that didn't allow pets in the contract. I had no choice but to rehome Pebbles and was heartbroken. But my grandma ended up taking care of her for me, so it wasn't so bad because I could visit Pebbles anytime. She was safe in a house, all indoor and well taken care of. 3 months ago, Grandma died, and of course that was hard enough, but on top of that, Pebbles got grabbed without anyone consulting me and brought to my uncle and aunt's house to live. They put her outside with their farm cats. I drove out on my day off to see her, and she was looking scared and bedraggled. That's a new one for me. But they insisted she was fine. I went home heartbroken and angry. Recently, I was able to move into a better apartment that is pet friendly with a roommate. I asked if I could have Pebbles back, but my aunt said no. And that my cousins, female 15 and female 18, have grown attached. But frankly, oh well. So I said, fine, okay. Then last week during work hours, I took off on my lunch break, drove to the farm while they were at work and school, found Pebbles, put her in my car, and drove home to my new apartment. Took them 2 days to even figure out she was gone. And then, of course, Aunt called me and asked if I had taken Pebbles. I said, yeah. She started to yell, so I just said, she's my cat and I gave her to Grandma for a while, not you. And then I don't know what NG means, and then have given up. Something like that. I think I'm legally in the clear because I took Pebbles back to the vet. I took her to her whole life for a checkup, got her papers up to date, and microchipped her in my name. But my parents called me and told me they were disappointed in me, that it was immature to steal Pebbles, and that the girls are apparently heartbroken. I'm sorry my cousins are sad, but I would do it again. Pebbles is my cat, and they weren't taking care of her right. I never wanted to give her up. Anyway, if I'm the asshole, that's fine. Well, we're breaking tradition here. We're just saying I am the asshole. But I don't think in this case you are. I think, one, there's an abused animal. I think that's a problem. I'm not sure about the legal implications here, so please don't quote me on anything from a legal perspective. He did ask the aunt. The aunt did say no, that the kids had grown attached. Nothing was really brought up about the abuse of this cat. If the cat is looking scared and bedraggled, when normally the cat isn't looking scared or bedraggled, usually there's stuff going on. It's an indoor cat now outside with other farm cats. It's a different life out there. I don't blame this person for stealing their cat back, especially if there's a firm no. I'm wondering if it's more appropriate to call Humane Society. But I mean, when it comes to pet issues, even though I'm allergic and I've never had a pet, I often substitute children in and say, like, okay, like if my child was hanging out at somebody's home and, they were looking scared, one, I'd probably call the cops on the family and say, like, what the hell? Probably have a conversation and say, well, why are they feeling scared. And kids have words too, right? Like, so they're able to say, well, this happened. Pets don't have that opportunity. Yeah, I don't blame this at all. I don't think they're an asshole. There might have been a better way to deal with it, of which I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're supposed to call the Humane Society first, and like figure that out. I'm not sure if there are any pet ownership papers that were with the aunt. Um, but Pebbles deserves a good home. I don't think you're the asshole here, my friend. Also, don't be mean to animals. Pebbles is a cute cat. Like, they deserve a good life. Let's go to the next one. This sounds fun. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for taking money from my wife's fun account to pay for my computer she broke? My wife is a stay-at-home mom. She works hard taking care of. This is a long post. She works hard taking care of our kids and maintaining our home. I do what we have agreed is a fair portion of the housework, and I do all of the yard work. She has full access to all of our accounts except for my personal spending account. I put the same amount into her personal spending account, but I can not only deposit, not withdraw. I have a home office, but I do not work from home. It is just a place that I can go sit and catch up on anything that I might need from work. Also play video games or play with my toys. Boys and their toys. My wife also has a room that is dedicated to her and her hobbies. I've asked her multiple times to please leave my room alone. I clean it myself. I take my dishes to the kitchen. I either wash them or place them in the dishwasher. I take out my own trash. When I play with my kids in my office, I clean up after all of us. When my wife joins in my office for video games, I clean up afterwards. There's quite literally no reason for her to do anything in there when I'm not in it. I do not have a lock on my door, but I do have my laptop password protected. I like to line up some of my collection of Lego minifigures by my screen on my laptop. I like to imagine that Batman and Spider-Man are watching me work. I know it's silly, but I like it. That's fine. For some reason, my wife decided to go clean my office. I guess she needed to move my laptop, so she closed it. Not all the way because my minifigures were in the way. When I came home, she told me what happened. The screen was not working at all. I had to get my old monitor out and hook it up so I could check to see if anything else was busted. It was just the screen. I checked it and it would cost me $250 for parts and labor to replace my screen. So I decided to replace the laptop and use the old one with my monitor for the kids. It was fine other than the non-working screen. The cost to replace my laptop was only $600. Yay, Black Friday. So I took $350 from my account and I took $250 from the money I was going to deposit into her personal account for December, and I got my new computer. This will in no way affect our budget for anything other than our own personal side projects and hobbies. I was looking forward to getting myself a new Lego set to work on with my kids over the holidays, but now I have to rebuild one of my old ones with them, which is also fun. Well, now she is pissed at me because she has to cut back on her fun stuff for December. She likes to have a spa day with her mom, for example. I said I wasn't responsible for my computer being broken and that she 100% was. She said it was an accident and that I should forgive her. I said I wasn't upset, but that I felt that if she felt I should forgive her, then I fully forgive her. But she still has to help pay for a new laptop. Am I the asshole? I didn't edit. I did not just take her money. We talked about it first. She is still upset that I expect her to take responsibility. Did not make a dictatorial decision. We do not work that way. Okay, we talked about it first, and you took the money. I think, yeah, this is just like an opportunity for a good conversation. I don't think it has to be so cut and dry here. Now, what I do wonder is sometimes when there's like a deposit and not withdraw type of situation, there's like a system and a series, like a setup. And sometimes legally it can be done in like a prenup like that, like we agree that one partner will stay at home and this is what I'll do to support them outside of the family, which I think is a great kind of arrangement in those situations. Maybe that's something to talk about. Also, like, listen, if we're short on money, we need the laptop for work. That's one thing. I wonder if, like, in this case, we're absolutely crushing it. We have a home that has room for the kids. We each have our own room, and there's a sole provider for all of that. If we're crushing it and doing quite well, the $250 is probably not the biggest deal in the world. Whereas to the wife, it's, a lot of money that she's going, not even to use for like, drinking and partying. She's going to use it to go hang out with her mom. I'm not sure I would have taken the money. I'm not sure if it's an asshole decision to take the money. But yeah, I wonder about those things. And as such, those are the questions I would ask. I would ask around um, the setup of the account, of that fun account. And also, I'd probably come up with a way where it's like, okay, if she wants to hang out in the room, it's also her house. Like, why can't she hang out in the room? Also, accidents happen. I mean, it could have been one of the kids. Would you have taken $250 from their allowance? Again, I don't think I agree with Reddit here. I don't think they're an asshole, but I wonder about those things. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure that's the nicest way to go about it. Let's do another. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This is nice. It's real nice. Gotta take a sip of this delicious coffee though first. Okay. This will probably be the last one for today. Am I the asshole for helping and contributing to my niece's wedding but not attending my daughter's? Very interesting. My 48-year-old daughter, Liz, 21, is she 48 or 21, has always been pretty introverted and shy. She got into her first proper relationship a few years ago with Sam, and while I didn't exactly approve, oh, I see. I'm 48 and my daughter Liz is 21. She's always been introverted and shy. She got into her first proper relationship a few years ago with Sam, and while I didn't exactly approve, I didn't think much of it. However, she brought up her marriage last year. Both me and my husband were completely against her marrying so young, and didn't want her to become a college dropout without a career. Sam's background was also a factor. This caused massive tension between us and Liz. She said she can do both, but she and Sam got married anyway. No one from our side attended the wedding, except my younger daughter Lisa, and she went without letting us know. We talk to Liz sometimes, but it's unfortunately not regular. We did invite her to Thanksgiving dinner this year, but she refused because her priority is always Sam and she wouldn't come without him. I'm close to my siblings, nieces, and nephews, and my niece Anne is getting married soon. I've been helping out a lot with the organization. Everyone is excited for it, as it's the first proper wedding with my siblings' kids. Liz caught wind that we were helping Anne and obviously will attend her wedding. I talked to her a few days ago and she said she was hurt. I was doing all this for Anne but didn't attend hers. I replied she knows why, and Anne's marriage isn't the same as hers. Liz started getting angry, so I said that it's not her position to decide what we should and shouldn't do. Lisa also got mad at me saying that what we were doing isn't right. So am I the asshole? Woo! Very good, very good, very good one. Okay, so recap. We have a family where the parents are roughly 48, maybe one is in their early 50s or a bit younger. The daughter Liz is 21. She's in a relationship which they don't approve. They chose to get married. It doesn't say whether she ended up dropping out of college or not. She said she can do both, so we'll trust that she can do both. She doesn't show up at all for family. Sometimes they invite her, but obviously there's some tension there. The niece is getting married, and now they're helping with the organization of that. And their children are not happy. I mean, I can't blame the children. Like, suddenly they're in a relationship and don't have the support of their parents. It says something about Sam's background, the husband's background. And we don't know what that means. That could be something as hefty as like a drug dealer. It could also be something as like, he comes from a family that's a different, social class. In heavy quotes, if you're listening to just the audio, a different class than ours. And therefore is different. We don't know, and I would probably ask like, what do we disapprove of here if I was coaching the parents? Like, what's the full story? Give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But here we're going and supporting somebody else's marriage and not our own children. I'd want to have a real conversation about why I don't support the decision, but that'll show up anyways. Like, at the end of the day, it's your daughter. Um, like, what's the kind of relationship you want with your daughter? It seems, because we're inviting her for Thanksgiving and everything, that we want to have a relationship with them where, we're doing Thanksgiving, we're doing the holidays together, we see each other, we cuddle with the dogs, but suddenly, because there's this other person that you don't like, or maybe haven't even gotten to know, you're like, nah, I'm not going to even go to the wedding. Not going to help, not going to go, not going to support. I think there is some assholery going on here. And I think a parent's job is to trust that by the time their kid is of a certain age, that they've done a good job of teaching, showing them the ropes. At some point, like, you got to let your kid figure things out, make their own mistakes. I mean, I think all of, like, even if the relationship is bad, I think most people have been in a relationship where they can say that it wasn't a good fit for one reason or another. It could be something as hefty as, like, it became an abusive relationship. It could be something where, you just didn't see eye to eye. I mean, like I've moved in with a partner and it didn't work. Like, that's just like a normal part of growing up, I think. And I think it's one important for parents to let their kids figure out on their own, because as we see, especially in cases with children like Liz, we're butting heads and we're not getting the relationship that we want to have. So if I were the parents, what I would do is I would say, hey, like, I want to have one clear, decisive conversation. This is how we feel about your relationship. But with that said, you're a daughter. We support you very much, and we want you to be happy. If this relationship makes you happy, who are we to judge? Like, if that's like the uncomfortable thing. But that said, I mean, like, obviously there's a better way to deal with it, which is just show up, support, show your love. Like, if you're in a bad relationship, it's nice to know that you have the support of your family to care for you and to do all of that. So that's probably where I would go with this one. I'm definitely gonna keep it open to respond to this one. This one was really interesting for me. Would love to hear any thoughts you have about any of these or the stream in general in the comments below. If you or anyone you know is looking for some epic, unlimited, and accessible coaching, I run a company called The Journal That Talks Back, where we offer set, unlimited, accessible, affordable coaching. Match you with a coach. You get unlimited coaching on a monthly basis. It's fantastic. I've been our first client, been using it for over a year since we launched, and it's been fantastic for me. And I'd love for you to join us. Go to thejournalthattalksback.com. We're working on a new site, but the old one's pretty cool too. Click book a call, and you'll be booking a call with me. It'll be fun. Thank you so much for joining the stream today. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. Beautiful beginning to your December, and we'll see you on the flippity flop. Namaste.